Captain Ibrahim Traore stood in front of his people and said, "Wake up, use your brain to think." And that hit. We nod, we agree, we say yes or oh, I need to think. But here's the problem. Nobody says out loud. Telling someone to think is like teaching someone to swim by, throwing them in the ocean. You flail, you call it thinking, but you're really just rearranging your confusion. The question nobody answered until now is this: what is the actual method? What are the steps? Before we begin, do me one favor. Hit like and subscribe. Every time you do, this method reaches one more person who was only ever told to wake up, but never shown how. Now, the missing method. Traore asked, why can't we take the earth, extract iron, and make steel? The answer isn't that we're cursed. The answer is that we lost the method. We lost the how. Our grandparents knew how to turn earth into iron. We have the same earth, the same iron, the same brain. But somewhere between then and now, we started confusing consuming information with thinking. Scrolling is not thinking. Repeating opinions is not thinking. Getting angry at the news is not thinking. Those are reflexes dressed up as thoughts. Real thinking is a method, and the method needs steps you can follow when you're tired, when you're scared, when you're confused, especially then. There's a system called the feather method. It's not a belief, it's a tool. If it helps you see clearly, use it. If it doesn't, refine it. 5 steps. Step 1, Sesh. What is actually happening? Most of our thinking is wrong because we start with conclusions, not observations. Sesh means stop. What are the facts? Not what you feel, not what you assume, not what someone told you. What did you actually see? Traore said, look at young men today. Look at the problems with childbirth. Look at the behavior. That's Sesh. He's saying, observe before you explain. Here's your practice. Take one problem. Write down only what you can prove. If you can't prove it, it's not a fact yet. Step 2, Shef. What is missing? Here's the question that changes everything. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me or who's to blame, ask, what missing piece would make this work? Traore asked it himself. Why can other countries develop from oil, but we can't? What is missing? The answer is never more effort or magic. It's a specific missing piece. Maybe it's skills. Maybe it's coordination. Maybe it's a factory. Maybe it's discipline. Find the missing piece. Step 3, Seef. Does it actually belong? Here's where most plans die. You find a missing piece. More money, more education, a new government, and you grab it. But did you test if it fits? Seef is the test. Not every solution belongs to every problem. A real piece reduces strain. A fake one adds weight. Ask, if I add this, does the system actually work better? Or does it just feel good to say? Step 4, Hotep. What restores balance? Once you know the piece that belongs, you don't fix everything at once. You choose the smallest correction that restores function. Traore said, with a snap of my finger, I can't solve everything. That's Hotep, one step at a time, one road, one brigade, one university restaurant. Ask, what is the smallest action that would make the system work again? Step 5, Shems, act and observe. Thinking is not finished until you do something and check whether it worked. Thought without action is a fantasy. Action without observation is a gamble. Read, find, test, repair, act. Now, how do you know if you're thinking straight? Traore mentioned truth many times, but how do you measure whether your thinking is honest? The Maat system gives us 4 gates. Every thought, every decision, every plan must pass all 4. Gate 1, truth. Is this accurate? Or am I just saying what I wish were true? Traore said, we need to know our history. Don't hide any part of it. That's truth. The uncomfortable parts too. Gate 2, fair share. Is the effort and credit distributed honestly? Am I blaming others for problems I helped create? Am I taking credit for work I didn't do? Gate 3, right size. Is my response proportional to the actual problem? Traore said the politicians promised roads for 50 years and built nothing. That's not right size. Right size means do what fits, not what sounds good. Gate 4, lasting value. Will this still matter in 10 years? Traore said, in 10 years, people will be surprised. That's lasting value thinking, building for the generation after the next. If your thinking doesn't pass all 4 gates, it's not ready. There's one more piece. Traore talked about how people are manipulated, how they drift without noticing. There's a mathematical way to understand this. Everything has a balance point. Your body has a resting heart rate, a healthy temperature. Your country has a balance row where people have food, water, dignity, and peace. When you drift too far from that balance, you get sick. A patient's heart rate climbing to 140, euro. That's drift. A country where people can't get clean water, euro. That's drift. The Balance Theorem says every signal has a healthy center and a healthy range. Drift is the distance from center. When the drift crosses a threshold, the alarm fires. This works for anything. What is your personal balance point for sleep, for stress, for work? What is your family's balance point for communication, for money? What is your community's balance point for trust, for safety? When you feel off, don't panic. Measure the drift. Name the signal. Find what pushed you off center. Then correct. Traore said, if we don't have a goal, we'll wander aimlessly, not knowing where we're going. The balance point is the goal. Drift is how you know you've left the path. So you have the method, you have the measures, you have the theorem, but you need something to catch you when you fall back into old patterns. 3 tools. Tool 1, the thinking framework. 5 disciplines you run every time. What is this actually asking? What depends on what? Did I verify or did I assume? Lead with the verdict and attack your own conclusion before you share it. Traore did this himself during the speech. He said, I checked, I verified, I have proof. That's discipline 3 in action. Tool 2, the ISFET check. ISFET means misfit. When something feels wrong but you can't name it, assuo, stop, and say out loud, ISFET detected. Then name it. Naming it breaks the spell. Tool 3, the self-attack. Before you believe your own conclusion, spend 60 seconds trying to tear it down. Ask, what fact, if true, would make this wrong? If you can't find one, you haven't looked hard enough. Traore ended his speech with, tomorrow better awaits us. It's possible. Believe in yourselves. But belief without method is hope without hands. The feather method, the Maat gates, the balance theorem. These are the hands. The method is what transforms wake up, see you, into stand up and build. You have the same brain your ancestors had, the same earth, the same iron, the same God. What's missing is not intelligence. What's missing is method. Now you have it. Read, find, test, repair, act.